Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included with me, your host, Luckymarine, in, well, cycle 255. And I apologise in advance if this episode is a little bit random. I've just got in from a night out, from celebrating or commiserations worth of a good friend of mine going back to Australia in the next couple of days. And so yeah, I'm a little bit intoxicated right now. But why not? Why not do this? Why not? I mean, what is there to lose? What is there to lose? I only have 25 subscribers. I am sure if I lose 2 or 3, then I don't know. I may even gain some. I may even gain some for this semi-intoxicated monstrosity that's gonna go up. But let's get on. Okay, so I seem to remember that we were doing stuff here. We were doing stuff here, and we'd just taken out all the tiny batteries because the tiny batteries were absolutely dog shit. They weren't doing anything. They were just they weren't doing anything. Actually, why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing this? We should end it here. We should have it venting in here, and we should have it pumping out at this point. So why are we still persisting with this? And what is this? Why did we even build this? We built this because let's go to the temperature thing, because we had copper ore down here that was blue, and I was like, well, if we build this, will it be blue because of taking the copper off from down here? And it's not blue. It's not blue. That both scares and frightens me a little bit. But let's deconstruct that because it's not needed. and let's. It says I don't have anything, but that's because I have just got in and I have just turned the game on and we have just started. So it says all this is unplugged, and it says that all these are unplugged. Does it? No power consumers. No wire connected. I beg to differ, young man. I beg to differ. You are all plugged in. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move this gas pump from here to approximately here. We may even disconstruct. We may even make this battery not work anymore. Oh my word. Have you ever tried narrating a video when you're a little bit intoxicated? It's not good. It's not good. But we will try our best. Okay, let's deconstruct. There we go. That's the word, deconstruct. Let's deconstruct this, and let's deconstruct this, and let's go there. Alright. Are you... Right, Pierre. Let's sort this out. Fine. Okay. So, deconstructed there. Deconstructed here. Let us get the plumbing, and let's get a gas pump in approximately here. Oh, balls. Gas. I'm gonna need a jump over to get over this hydrogen shenanigans, aren't I? To get back to here. Do I? It's trying to get me to think, and I can't think right now. I have many other things on my mind apart from thinking. Alright, let's ram that. Let's ram gas pipes. We're already in the gas overlay. So let's ram all of this gas pipe. No, just that. And then from here, let's put the gas pipe across here, up, and then join it there. Meaning that we can take this gas pipe down and feed it straight into where the other gas pipe ended. which will also allow for the cool contaminated oxygen, or the uber cold oxygen. The uber cold oxygen coming across here and getting sucked up by this gas pump, instead of having to go all the way around and to here. But we're testing. This is what we need to do. This is I would like to test. I would like to get things wrong so that you don't have to. And so on we go, if we can. This is a medley of different colours and different shapes. I don't even know what's going on around here. I don't even know. Alright, Mildred, you're usually the one that gets shit done. Here she comes. Here she comes, getting shit done. Mildred, have I ever told you I have feelings for you? Just a little bit. I mean, I know you've got interesting things to get on with, but still. You are the person that gets things done, and I appreciate that. I value it. I value it a lot. Alright. Let's prioritize this at a 9. And also see if it's plugged in. It won't be plugged in. So let's plug it in with the purest of all our gold. Just so. We could probably, yeah, come on. Let's deconstruct. Let's go deconstruct this much. And this. And this. These are all the little pipes. The little pipes. These are all the little batteries that we had that were surplus to requirements. Actually, surplus to requirements are all these batteries along this row. I should really take out these permeable tiles and just put in solid, so the gas enters here and can only get to here and it can't go anywhere else. It can't leak away. We should do that. We should totally do this. Alright. Let's deconstruct just the buildings. Here and here. And also just the buildings, i.e. ladders, just there. And apparently thingamajig, I can't remember. I really can't remember. I am so sorry. Who is it? It's not you. It's iPad letter, I believe. Here we go. iPad letter. Different settings in the option menu for sound effects, ambience and music, so you can lower the volume of the very annoying gas plumbing overlay noise even. iPad letter, Chrome. Yes, if we can do this, I will love you for all the times, as long as I live, I will love you. All right. So, iPad letter, and the option menu. Can we get option menu in here somewhere? Options. Audio, master, sound effects. Ooh. Let's turn it down to 28% because it's suitably ridiculous, but it's also even. And if anyone's ever been in a car with a radio, they'll know why I'm putting on an even number, because that's just what you do. It's weird. I know it's weird. I know it's weird, but it's what you do. All right. Done. Close. Why is there 2? Why are there? Okay, you do that, and you do that. All right. Let's turn onto here. Oh, that is beautiful. That is. I instantly don't want to kill all my family. This is amazing. All of this is amazing. I can't even put into words how amazing that is. Okay, let's get this done, and we will tile accordingly with the purest of all the sandstones. Actually, let's wait for them to plumb this in first. Guys, can you plumb this in? Are you not? Is this not a thing? Of course it's a thing. Have we got it priority 9? Priority 9. Alright. So the temperature that comes out of here is quite cold. But by the time it gets to over here, it's got to about 40, 20... Wait, what? 40, 46, 49... Where did I get the 20 from? I must have, yeah, right. It's about 40 degrees here. From here, we get to the plumbing, and we feed it straight into this, which doesn't feed it in here. It will feed it in here. Now that I think about it, it should feed it in here, because, all right, yep, because when we had the cool air feeding in here and we turned this pump off, by the time the cool air had made its way out of this gas vent, it had already warmed up quite a lot by the time it got to this gas pump and been fed into the system. Yeah. Why have we got this horrific lump? Horrific loop, even. We should just go through there. Why are we not doing that? We should do. We should do. But we so you're getting disrupt. Don't make YouTube videos when you're slightly intoxicated, because you can't get your words out. You're getting destructed, deconstructed. There we go. You're getting deconstructed, which will cut off that pipe, and you will. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's go. Let's go with that. I'm sick of waiting. Come on, do it, please, guys. It is slightly less obnoxious than it used to be. I remember it being a lot more obnoxious than it currently is. Alright. I can't wait for the next playthrough. I really can't. I want it to happen now. I started back on this playthrough and I was like, let's get to a year. Let's get to 365 and then let's stop, so that we can go on to the next playthrough, which is going to be mobs into supercooling, into creating oxygen just off, well, colin poop, to be honest. And I think that's what we're going to do. We'll get to 365 because we owe it to ourselves. We do. But I'll keep this safe. I'll keep it along. I'll keep it in the background. And if people really want me to carry on with this, then we will. But I want to incorporate everything into the next playthrough. I want to incorporate this system. I want to incorporate this system with the food. I mean, we'd already alluded to it earlier on in the playthrough. What if you could fully enclose a farm and never break into it? You'd never get this. You'd never get the overheated. You'd never get the stifling. You'd never get to the point where it stopped growing. I mean, it's only been... Granted, I thought, let's do the solid tile around the whole thing and allow them in every now and then to harvest. On the whole Diagon Alley thing, happened by accident, by happens chance, because of it was here. We had a bit of fresh water here, and we still had research to do, and we needed fresh water for the research we needed to do. And so I needed to open up the fresh water to here for them to take it to the research stations. And we opened a little bit of it, and they managed to take the fresh water on the diagonal. And ever since then I was like, well, if they can do that with water, they can do that with everything. They can do that with taking things out of storage compactors or putting stuff in storage compactors. They can do that with harvesting planter boxes, or putting stuff in planter boxes, or essentially everything. You don't need not really. You don't need to be able to touch the thing that you need to interact with, because climbing up to the top of this ladder and harvesting this plant, that's not directly interacting with it. I don't believe, because there's no way that air, that gas, that anything, fluid, can make their way through that diagonal. But you can harvest the plant, but you can put the seed back in there, but you can sweep the meal ice that drops off this. And I do hope that changes. When we do the next playthrough, which will probably be a mixture of P-Dome, this, maybe not a steam room, we'll probably go straight for the supercooling into semi-liquid, semi gas oxygen. I think this is more efficient than this. I do. I really do. I think this setup, yeah, we don't need this. We don't need this at all. We got to the point where we were experimenting. We put the full top row in, we put the full bottom middle row in, and then we just add in and add in and add in, and we got to the point where we're like, I can't be bothered with this, we'll just add the last two. And we went straight from producing cold contaminated oxygen into here to producing liquid oxygen, and that was a little bit too far. So we stopped. Well, we took it out of the system, and we went back one, and suddenly we were creating oxygen from contaminated oxygen. Now, that might not seem too much, it might not seem pivotal, but to me, I know Colin makes contaminated oxygen, and he doesn't eat anything. He doesn't need anything to make contaminated oxygen. Just every now and then he'll make contaminated oxygen, and he will make a metric fuck ton of it for what he is, for the size he is. and from the last playthrough from P-Dom, when we were setting up the base, and when Sadie, was it Sadie? Is this Sadie here? We have a Sadie. Is this a Sadie? Alright, Sadie here. We had another one, another dupe beginning with an S. I'm gonna have to go find out who it is, but she got catapulted through dirt into solid sandstone to the point where we couldn't find her, and she died, but we left her in the sandstone. And the next episode there were 3 mobs that spawned from her body. It was like Sadie corpse, entombed, 3 mobs down this list. And so if we can create a room where we can lock dupes inside it and then kill them off. It sounds horrific, it really does. It sounds absolutely diabolical, but if we can kill off a dupe, 3 mobs, 3 Collins will spawn out of them. Now I've heard if you have a dead dupe on the floor, and fair enough, I have experienced it from the fact that we had, was it Sadie? It sounds like Sadie. It was something similar to Sadie. Anyway, the dupe that we had entombed in the sandstone, there was 3 mobs that spawned from her dead body, but then in the next save another 2 spawned. So I think that every time you, as long as you got a body there, if you load into that save, more mobs will spawn from that body. Now I don't really want to do that because it's kind of glitchy, and I'm not a fan of glitchiness. So we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, i.e. spawn a dupe out of the big dupey archway of destiny, put them in a room, or get them to do something in a room, like I need you to make this there, and then go into this room, and whilst they're here trying to make this, get somebody to block them off and then end this task. And then wait for them to die. That sounds horrific. Just wait for them to die. That sounds absolutely diabolical. Just wait for them to die. That sounds horrific. It will go against everything that I have ever. I don't think I can do it. But then we can't go around the map collecting mobs because there's just not enough of them. There's not enough of them in a area that we can collect. It's just it's not even a thing. So killing dupes off. No, not here either. Oh, there's one there. Great. Yeah, we can somehow herd you. Have you spawned in a place where you're instantly overheated? How is this a thing? I don't know. I don't know. And you, oh yeah, you're there as well. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a room with a ladder coming down from the top. And we know how stupid dupes are. There's a ladder coming down to the top, and we get them to deconstruct it to the point where they can't jump back up again. They will do, because that's just how stupid they are. And we create a room with lots of mobs in it. Now, we have been pumping stuff out of this area for a long time now. But before we put pump in here, there was, it was mega concentrated, uber mega concentrated in here. It was even more concentrated than it is in here. Yep, even more than that. It was like, what, 6 kilograms per square of contaminated oxygen, all made by one mob. But granted, over time, but still. Anyway, that will be us for this episode. I do apologise if it has been quite annoying to listen to. I have been slightly intoxicated right now. Again, if you can leave comments saying goodbye to Ashley, that would be a big. I would love you forever. And we still have lots of. We've got loads. We have loads, absolutely loads of fluid left. This fluid, as in we can turn fluid directly into fresh water. We've got all this. We've got all this. We had to turn off the pump going from here into here, but we were just getting too much. We're just getting too much in here. We still have to. I would like more of a scroll out. More of a scroll out. If only to take a screenshot of the entire setup that we have going on. But yeah, anyway. This, I think we kind of need it, but we don't, but we do. It'd be nice to have it up and working and sort of, I don't know, it'd make sense. It would. That's a lot of pipe though. That is a lot of pipe. It is very inefficient. It is very, very, very inefficient. Now having 6 people on these wheels in order to power this, I don't think is a bad thing. I would rather the 6 people on these wheels powering this to turn contaminated oxygen into proper oxygen than the people on these wheels powering these batteries to turn contaminated water into steam. This just seems more controllable. It seems more of a definite science. All you have to do is cool down. Cool down? All you have to do is heat it up, the stuff that it produces. Which we've already tried once. Now we've squished up. What's this? 90 degrees Celsius copper ore. Alright. Yep. And 10 degrees Celsius gold amalgam. Alright. We've already discovered that we don't need the dog leg. We don't need the U-bend. The temperature is alright getting from here to here. If you pump it from here, it's going to be about 30, 40 degrees. We may end up moving the pump even closer to the vent. We'll see. But still Still the solidified carbon dioxide. And this is what I like about the game. This is, I absolutely love the fact that if you super cool something, it's going to turn into a liquid version of it. And if you super cool it even more, because we had liquid carbon dioxide down here. And if you super cool it even more, you're going to get the solid version of it. And granted, you can't do anything with the solid carbon dioxide. And it doesn't heat up to the point where it turns into liquid and then turns into a gas again. But that is temporary. I can imagine in future updates it will turn into different states. I can imagine in future updates that here, as we had before, further down here, I think we were experimenting with turning, was it oxygen into different states? It was. No, it was water, wasn't it? Water was getting really cold, but then it wasn't turning into oxygen. Was it oxygen? Oh my word, I can't think. I'm a little intoxicated myself. But it wasn't turning into different states in the pipe. So steam, that was it. We were cooling our steam, wasn't we? Weren't we? Wow. So we were cooling down steam, but even though it was quite a low temperature, a temperature where steam shouldn't actually ever exist, it just wasn't turning into the next state in the pipe work. It was continuing to be steam. So we were pumping out 32 degrees steam, which should never be steam. It should pump out as a fluid, as water. And it wasn't turning, it wasn't altering state in a gas pipe. And I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see you having to sort that out. No, not sort that out. What's the word? Make adjustments for that. So if you have a gas in that pipe that ends up fluctuating between the temperatures where it's stable as a gas, but then maybe it drops just below to the point where it becomes a liquid, I'd like to see blockages. I'd like to see you needing to, let's see, plumbing, gas pipes, either having to use the insulated pipe, because we haven't needed to use the insulated piping anywhere at all. But that's by the by. But the insulated, I would like to see more instances of having to use the insulated pipe. But say that, all right, it's not right now, but say that you're pumping steam from here, and say that it gets to about this point and it cools down to such an extent that it turns into a liquid. I'd like to see you having to put in a place where any liquid that forms collects, and suddenly you have to, instead of putting a gas pipe, either having an inline heater to turn that liquid back into a gas to then pump it further on into the system, or I'd like a gas to liquid transition where The steam has come all the way up these pipes, and it's cooled down, it's cooled down, it's cooled down, because it's really hot down there. It is really hot down here. Fair enough. And you're pumping steam out, and the steam gets up here, and it cools down, and it cools down. And it goes through all this abathite, and it cools down even more. And it cools down, it cools down, it cools down, and it's like suddenly I can't be steam anymore because I've dipped below 100 degrees Celsius. So I have to be a liquid. And so it drops. Anything else that's still steam carries on. Anything else that's still steam carries on up the line. Anything that's not steam drops, and then drops again into liquid pipe. And then maybe you have a liquid pump, and it doesn't put it back into the system. Say maybe the liquid pump pumps it back into a liquid system. So anything that condenses into a liquid, you've got the gas going up, the steam going up, but then anything that's condensed into a liquid, you also caught that, and you're sending that up as well. I don't know. This is the beauty of the game. It is lots of science, and I absolutely love it. This is what keeps me coming back time and time again. We were only meant to do one playthrough of this game, and then we sort of went on to the P-Dome because it was a little bit funny and it was cool, and yeah. And then from there we went on to this, where no, P-Dome into the bubble dome, bubble test even, where we had this going on, just in a smaller scale. And then in this playthrough, we amalgamated the P-Dome, the 100% stress P-Dome, with the bubble test, and got to cycle 200 without using a grain of sand. And now we've got to the point where we can make oxygen, pure, unadulterated oxygen, out contaminated oxygen that comes from the bumhole of Colin, or many Collins, Colin and friends, who might be in their own separate room. We might have 20 of them. We might have 100 of them. They don't seem aggressive. We've minced around in here with Colin, and he's not tried to eat any of us, which stands to reason that he might not try to eat his own kind. So if we had 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 8 or 12 or 18 or 100, they'd gotten well with each other as long as they were of the right temperature. But we will continue with this. We'll continue with this until the very latest will be 365. I want to get a year's worth out of this colony, and I think we will. I think we can very easily, for just from the amount of what we've got. We can tap into this. We can drop this. We can drop this a little bit even here. We can turn these on. It's going to be very, very easy to get to 365, but it's a ceiling that I have set. It's a point that I have set. Let's get to 365. It will be good. Anyway, the next playthrough, and I have stopped myself so many times from playing off screen and trying to get this whole mob farm into supercooling, into oxygen production thing so many times, because I want to do it on screen. I want the highs, I want the lows, I want them all on screen. I want you to be able to play through it with me. I want you to be able to see the mistakes. I want you to be able to see the mistakes so that you don't have to make the mistakes yourselves. But anyway, you can tell I'm a little bit intoxicated because this is now a 40-minute episode. So I apologise profusely for a 40-minute episode of me just waffling on. But it's been good. And I've been Luckymarine, and you, as always, oh my word, as always, have been amazing. I am absolutely loving the input that you were coming out with on this playthrough with the comments, and I've learnt a lot just from the comments. There are things that you come out with that I've not even. I've not even thought of the things like the valves down here. I was just willing for that to carry on regardless. I was like, oh yeah, it'll come out of here, go into the filtration system, it'd be fine. And then someone was like, actually no, you put 10 kilograms worth of fluid in and it only used X amount, therefore you're wasting this much. I was like, alright, well let's have a look at it then. And so we did, and we altered it accordingly, and that's directly off you lot commenting, and I appreciate that massively. Every single comment I will look at. Every single comment I will reply to as and when I can. But yeah, anyway, I've been Luckymarine. You already know that you're amazing, but from the gang and me, it's goodbye, and I will hope to see you in the next episode, where we power on to the year 365th cycle, whilst doing a little bit more testing that will stand us in good stead for the next series, the next playthrough. Okay, do take care of yourself.